funny thing is, not a couple hours later, after I record the last agent profiles, they release one more. Now I think they're gonna be releasing one per day into release, so you're gonna have a episode of this in the odd days. So here we go, Shelter. Interesting nickname.
Reclamation Agency Field Evaluation. Call sign, Shelter. Specialty, Scion. Shelter has suffered unspeakable trauma. Beyond what the invaders did to him, he's haunted by what they forced him to inflict on others, and eager for the day he'll never need those skills again.
Interesting.
For now, however, he's agreed to use those skills for the greater good, as a guardian of peace. Call sign?
Okay, that's interesting. That's a side that we never saw much. Because we never saw many humans. We saw humans aiding, quote unquote, but we never saw humans direct aiding on military or even on this way things. And even that goes on that thing. It's very interesting the way then psionics work on the XCOM 2 side of things, because in theory we developed psionics during the first war. I just don't know how, but we aren't able to use psionics. It's a little bit strange, and that would mean then in some way, shape, or form psionics were widely developed among the populace. No, probably not. Maybe he was one of the uh that would kind of go against some of the theories, like the fact that I don't remember the name of the psionic gifts that we have on Enemy Within. It's out of my memory now. Maybe he was part of those guys and the girls, and that was the thing. They already were psionic gifted, because if you remember back then, if on Enemy Within, if you got those and you did the test, all of those guys that you rescue would always tick off by psionics, so that was a thing. Now in other thingamajig, it's interesting to see then that flies a little bit above the theory. Then those guys were in some way, shape, or form the chosen. And it's pretty much interesting that we see then this again, the same style of cell block. Like then we have here ish. Huh. Because this is not the same guy. He's like here. So maybe those are terrorists? Uh, that's gonna be a interesting can of worms, because we know we're gonna have enemies. That's obvious, and we know there is something about the White Phoenix or something among those lines. So maybe we're gonna have some extremists? I don't know. That's gonna be an interesting can of worms to open when the game come out. So because here he like here he is. Interesting enough, he still kinda use a more or less advantage style of weapon. No, wait. That's bullshit out of my way. These are two different styles. You can see he is now more on the free side, quote unquote, on the XCOM side, and here he is working under Advent, and this sectoid is forcing him to do whatever this is. So this probably is during the Second War. It's again interesting to know that Advent was using humans, since they have the priests who were more or less psionic gifted. Okay, it's something. Let's go to the next one. Claymore. Let's hope this is a more standard one, so I don't need to go bullshit on lore.
Reclamation Agency field evaluation. Call sign Claymore. Specialty demo expert. Claymore's key strength is synthesis, the putting together of parts to form a greater whole.
Okay.
Human, alien, the ingredients have never mattered. Claymore brings it all together. And then, of course, blows it all apart. But the results are always excellent.
That was not a good idea. Are you using explosives to fight against the Lost? That's not smart, my friend. That will only bring more Lost. It seems to be ballistic weapons, so this is during the second war. Probably during more refugee rescue. It's the thing that I'm kind of saying all along here. Uh, Not all along, but during most of this agent's profiles, even on during the main video. The fact that we kind of have a more distinction here of the general resistance and the XCOM. This is kind of like this looks like those missions that you go to rescue somebody inside of the a lost city or something like that. They are not XCOM personnel. They are like just resistance units than you would see once in a while. So that is a thing that I'm getting here. You're going to have those people who are resistance personnel who now become quote unquote the police force, the ones who end up having slightly military training. They become like the police personnel, the people like that. And XCOM, it's really detached. It kind of detach itself, but we see a little bit of a. Still, there is a XCOM touch here. For example, on Claymore, not on Claymore, on the Gunslinger one. I really don't remember him. He still wears an XCOM patch. You had on. I don't remember the hacker one. She is very. That's the thing. Even they saying join XCOM, I don't think. Maybe she probably is on with XCOM, but was with XCOM, but probably she now turns more of a resistance. And that's a thing for the leader of the unit. She does not seem to be XCOM related, but more of a resistance related. That's an interesting point to place, even if I was kinda directing to the fact, oh, the people who you see with Ranger, Gunsling, Sharpshooter, those styles are probably the people who will have like they were XCOM members, but maybe XCOM passed down training to some people. We will never know. Probably I doubt it. There will be that much backstory put in besides those agents' profiles. But again, that's one of the things that I do really like about XCOM. It gives us enough. How can I put it? It gives us enough so we can guess, quote unquote, or create our own headcanon about how things go. And that's a very interesting point. Until they, like, I think they will answer a couple questions to tie it up, the plot between XCOM 2 and Chimera Squad, but in the end, I still believe they will have enough things that you can decide how things are going or how the 5 years period went. Because even here, you see then, even though the agents' profiles and all of that, you're not seeing much about the 5 years gap. You're only seeing most what those people were doing during the Second War, and well, now it's a very interesting point, and I found very interesting that they are not touching that, and they probably never gonna tell us what happened to Dr. Valen. Sad as that may be sounding. That's it, ladies and gentlemen, for this agent profile. Probably we're gonna have one more tomorrow and one more in the 23. I think they are following this now, like one per day, and then we're gonna have the last two on the release date. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think there is much more people. Then we don't know. We have the Viper and the Muton. I think are the only ones that we not have the agent profile yet. I may be wrong. Maybe they are hiding a couple guys for release. They don't want to spoil a couple guys. That is totally possible. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, see you guys on the next video, whatever that may be. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. This was the video. If you enjoyed, leave it a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. If you have anything to say, please leave a comment. And if you want to see what the hell is gonna be coming next on this mess, subscribe. And see you guys on the next episode.